Josh and Kathy Carter with Carter Team Nashville and eXp Realty. We are a mother-son real estate team here in the Nashville area, and we're glad you found our page, Nashville TN Real Estate. If you would, just like and subscribe to the page. We would appreciate it. So today we're going to talk to you about the pros and cons of Nashville. Well, we both grown up here, so obviously he's my son, so he grew up here, if I did, but we both have grown up here in Nashville. So Josh, let's get into the pros and cons of Nashville. Been doing real estate a long time, and people who come to town are so surprised how green it is here and how many hills we have. It's a very beautiful state. Nashville itself and the surrounding area is just very beautiful, and just a lot of green.
Yep, tons of green. We've got a lot of, rolling hills. We're really known for our rolling hills, especially in the Nashville area. If you go out more east, obviously we've got the Smoky Mountains. Gatlinburg is a great vacation destination for everybody. Dollywood, you can go out there and see Dolly Parton. But yeah, just overall, even when you're just driving every day in Tennessee, it is such a gorgeous state. In the springtime, you get all the beautiful spring trees that pop up, and then in the fall, you get all the color you could ever want, the oranges, reds, yellows, all that. So just overall a very beautiful state.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is we get the 4 seasons here. So like Josh said, in the spring it's gorgeous, a lot of blooming flowers, what have you, but really all year round except in the winter for 2, maybe 3 months max. It's very, very green and just...
Yeah, I'd say about 2 months.
Yeah.
January, February in the winter.
Yeah.
Gets a little cold outside of that, though.
All right. Well, that's pro number 1, just the greenery and the beauty.
Yep.
So, Josh, what's the pro number 2 that you have?
Number 2, I would say, we've got a massive, massive economic growth opportunity in Nashville. The pillars of our economy in Nashville are healthcare and tech, and obviously music and tourism.
And automotive.
And automotive, yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if you're already starting out with your pillars as strong as those things, obviously healthcare is going to bring a ton of jobs to your city. Tech, we've seen what tech's done the last 5 to 10 years. That's only going to get bigger and bigger. I mean, we've just got so many new tech companies moving here from California and Silicon Valley. They see the opportunity in Tennessee with no state income tax and certain tax breaks that businesses get. So it's a great place for a business to thrive overall.
Yeah, I'd agree, and we've got Nissan here. We've got Saturn plant here, just in, local Middle Tennessee area. So automotive is big, and then like Josh mentioned, the tourism is very big here. So we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about that in a second.
A few bachelorette parties.
Just
a few.
I don't know if this is a great claim to fame, but I think we are known as the #1 bachelorette city in the U.S.
Yep.
So it's interesting to me.
Each their own, I think.
Yeah.
I think if you're under 30, you like hearing that. I think if you're
a little over 30,
a certain age, you probably don't like it as much.
That's right. But you know what? The ones that live here just know we're going to stay away from downtown Nashville during the high bachelorette season.
Yep.
For sure. But the third pro for Nashville and area is we are Music City, U.S.A. One thing that I'll say about this, because I correct everybody. Everybody thinks we're just country music. But it's Music City, U.S.A. And while downtown Nashville, the tourist area, I would say primarily is a lot of country. I mean, when you're walking down Broadway, every bar, and there's a lot of them, they're side by side by side by side. A lot of those are country music. Like, you'll just hear music coming out of every single place. So it's kind of cool if you're into the music scene.
Yeah.
But it's not all country.
You never know, like those people 5 years from now could be American Idol winners or Voice winners or Hit It Big, and
well,
even the people playing in the bars. If you've been to Nashville, they're singers.
We're huge in songwriting, so a lot of songwriters come here because it is Music City, USA, and so we have just a very, quite honestly, diverse music.
Blues, Americana, even pop and hip hop. Just every.
And I like to listen to Christian music, so there's a lot of that. So, it's very, very diverse. Even coming into our airport, you're going to hear live music, which I travel a lot, and I don't think I have ever heard live music on a regular basis in any other airport. So if you're flying in, be looking for the live music in the airport. You know, there's a couple of places that have that. Now we're going country. Blake Shelton, Luke Bryan, like Kid Rock.
Everybody.
He's not so country,
come
but
on.
they all have bars.
Everybody
downtown.
has a bar downtown at this
Yeah.
point. Garth Brooks is opening up a bar. I think
Yeah.
it may already be open for its in low places.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that's really cool. You know, I've been to multiple places downtown where you got a pop-up show from Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs. Like, you just never know in Nashville who's going to get up on stage and perform and just do a kind of a private little pop-up show. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. You know, and kind of talking about that, there's a lot of stars that live here, but a huge pro, in my opinion, you know, being a native, is we don't have any paparazzi. And so a lot of these famous singers, you know, Nicole Kidman even, Keith Urban, I mean, just on and on and on names. They all have, a lot of them have places here, and it is not uncommon to see them wandering the streets or being at a Starbucks because they know they can walk freely, and quite honestly, all the locals leave them alone. Nobody really goes up to them. You never see a fanfare around them if you see them out. So I love that. I know they love that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not abnormal at all just to see and being out and about every day to see, you know, a famous person. So, you know, sometimes I'll geek out, but I stay away.
So number 4 for the pros of moving to Nashville or living in Nashville, I think it's got a great sense of community about it. One of the friendliest cities and states in the country. You still have that southern charm about it. Nashvillians like to say it's the biggest small city in the country or in the world even.
Yeah.
Everybody just feels like a neighbor, honestly. Everybody feels like, you know, they kind of know each other, whether they do or don't. People wave to you on the sidewalk when you're walking down the street, that kind of thing. So it's, you know, it is a big city and it's only getting bigger, but you definitely still have that small town feel in southern charm.
Yeah, it's very friendly. I mean, it's very friendly. You know, when we have people that move down from the north, honestly, I've had a lot of clients be a little skeptical. Like, why is everybody so friendly around here? Like, literally have said that to me. And it is just that southern charm, I think, and just how, you know, people around here are raised just to be friendly. And so it is a very friendly city, you know, so if that's something that you like, that's something you're going to love about Nashville for sure. Because you don't meet a stranger. Everybody says hi, everybody waves, you know. Sometimes we're nice in driving, sometimes not so much, but on the street.
Right. Yeah, we get a bad rap for driving.
Yeah.
But
I'm talking about
I don't think it's that bad.
courtesy standpoint.
Yeah. Those are the pros, and there's many, many more pros than just those. But those are kind of the big ones that we think of when we think of Nashville. So we'll get into the cons a little bit. Bow, bow, bow. I mean, there's not many, but there are a few cons. Number 1, I would say, is traffic. We've had a ton of growth in Nashville the last 10 years, especially in the city of Nashville and the downtown area. And obviously the infrastructure has kind of failed to keep up with that for the most part.
True.
I mean, they do some things to make it a little bit easier, but traffic has gotten decidedly worse in the last 5 to 10 years, I would say. And nothing like LA or, you know, New York City or anything, but
it's all relative.
It is.
You know, I mean, growing up here, we've just seen it get worse and worse and worse, but it's all relative. We're not Atlanta yet, and hopefully we're not going to become traffic-wise, you know, LA, all those places. But if you are on the outskirts of Nashville and you're driving to Nashville, you know, you're going to probably have a 30, 40-minute commute. And I get, for some people coming from different areas, like we just mentioned, that's laughable. They're like, that's not a commute at all. But, you know, for us that are used to being 15-minute drive, you know, doubling that is sometimes frustrating. Yeah,
a little bit.
And kind of going along with that, we just also don't have really great public transportation at all. That's sort of, I would say, a second con that kind of ties into that. We don't have we really don't have any public transportation. We do have some city buses.
Unless you're a bachelorette party. Then, I mean, you can hop on the pedal taverns. We've got plenty of those. Hop on a pedal tavern and get down to one of the bars, you're good to go.
But you already got to be downtown. You're not You're not picking that up in the suburb, getting downtown.
The next step is to pedal tavern from Brentwood to Nashville.
He's joking. Yeah, he's joking. But we don't really have, you know, railway system or, you know, any above ground system. And, you know, to Josh's point a minute ago about traffic, we've not done a great job in keeping up with the infrastructure, I don't feel like. So, and we're at our home office today, so you get to hear our dog, or my dog. Josh is over here at the home office today. So, number 3, what would you say the number 3 traffic is?
Here he is.
Okay, there's our baby. So, number 3, what would you say is the third pro, or the third con?
I would say we definitely do get a little bit of weather in Tennessee that's kind of unique to different states. Tornadoes, you get those kind of in the late fall. You start hearing about tornadoes and tornado warnings. Also in the springtime as well. The good news is, we're both born and raised here. If you've got a basement home, you feel really safe about it. Even if you don't have a basement, Tennessee, they do a great job, and the local officers and things like that,
In the media,
government, they just do a great job of warning you about the potential, like if a tornado can be in your area. And they give you ample time to prepare for it and things like that.
Yeah, usually. And there's tornado sirens. So, neither one of us, I've been here obviously a lot longer than Josh, but, knock on wood and praise the Lord, I've never, been involved in a tornado. But they are a real thing. So, but again, just know that you get educated on how to prepare if the conditions are right for a tornado with that. The other thing that we get here is flash floods and flooding. We don't, back in 2010, our city flooded terribly. We had a really historic rain and our whole city sort of flooded terribly. Was that 2010?
Yeah.
Was that before that?
2010 or 2011.
Yeah.
I think something.
But we will get a lot of rains that create some flash.
That 500-year flood, though, by the way. Like, that's not the norm.
Yeah, that was very historic. Yeah, that was very historic. But we do get a lot of flash flooding, and again, the media, the news, it's all very good about, warning, just to be mindful about if you see water crossing streets, you don't want to drive through it. So they really, again, do a good job in educating there.
Yep.
And then the big thing with the weather is the humidity in the summer.
Real thing.
It's a real thing. Like
you will sweat.
You will sweat. I feel like, what I tell people in Nashville, humidity is like walking into a sauna in the middle of, really July and August are the worst months. May, June are actually quite nice usually. It's just those 2 months. It's a real thing for sure.
Well, it is. I was in the construction for about 4 years and had a lot of people move from California and New York, and that is the one thing they would say in the summer for sure is like, the humidity definitely takes some getting used to a little bit if you're from a place that's not as humid.
Yeah.
If you're from the South, obviously, if you're from Florida or somewhere moving here, you're already pretty well versed in humidity, but it's definitely a real thing. But like she said, it's just about 2 months. July and August are pretty bad with humidity, but any other time it's really pleasant here.
But one of the good things that we didn't really talk about, though, Josh, really there's a couple of pros I feel like we missed. Number one, everybody has air conditioning, that's for sure. But we had, a lot of lakes to go, and there's a lot of swimming areas within those lakes. So we have a lot of that. And, the other thing that I feel like we failed to mention is we have a lot of parks and a lot of state parks. There's a lot of hiking around here. So if you like that, you're not going to be short of those. So to the humidity piece of it, though, we've got water. We don't have oceans, but we have a lot of lakes, and there's a lot of pools that you can become members of at the community centers, things like that as well. So
another, I would say, kind of to go with the weather a little bit, another con about Tennessee and Nashville is we do have some people that do develop and get allergies. Obviously, talking about our pro earlier about how green and how beautiful Tennessee is, with a lot of greenery and things, you do
pollen.
Have a lot of pollen. And some people do get allergies with that, and also ragweed is kind of a pretty bad around here in Tennessee. That's one of those things. But other than that, what do you have as far as?
I think those are the things. People come and sometimes they haven't had allergies in the past and they develop them, like he said. I've grown up here and I wouldn't say I've had a problem with them myself. And so not everybody does, but no, if you already struggle with allergies, there's probably going to be seasons when the pollen, and the ragweed are worse, that your allergies are going to act up. So you just got to know that coming in and, take the precautions that you take if those happen. So those are the biggest pros and the biggest cons that we feel, living in Nashville and the Middle Tennessee area is. And so many more pros. So, If there's other videos that you'd like to see, just put it in the comments. We're going to be doing these on a weekly basis, probably a couple a week at least. And so we'd love to hear from you what other information you're looking for as you're considering a move to Nashville. And don't forget just to like and subscribe below. And we hope to see you back on our channel.
See y'all.
Bye, y'all.